Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. My name is Sarah Linbo, and I'm here today to represent both Gillette Children's. I'm a new employee there, but really I'm here to speak as a mother. I have an amazing daughter named Greta, who is 14 years old, and she has cerebral palsy, and she's been a patient at Gillette for over 13 years. Greta's story begins with a traumatic birth and a month spent at the NICU at Children's Hospital in St. Paul. She had experienced a significant lack of oxygen to her brain. And if you're not familiar with cerebral palsy, this is one of the most common ways it occurs. Cerebral palsy is a lifelong neurological condition that affects movement, muscle tone, and coordination. It does not get worse over time, but we're learning with Greta that as she grows and gets older, the challenges become a little bit bigger and honestly a little bit harder. So her official diagnosis is quadriplegic cerebral palsy, which means all of her limbs are affected. She also has epilepsy, so she has had seizures throughout her life. When Greta was just a few months old, our neurologist recommended that we start seeking care at Gillette because it was one place that she could get all of her needs met. Our very first doctor at Gillette is named Dr. Deshpande, and she has been a true champion for Greta and our entire family. Part of her job is that she's able to see the big picture of what's coming and what we should do while my husband and I are just getting through day-to-day living and able to focus on Greta and our son. Early on, Dr. Deshpande connected us with physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech, and Greta still receives those therapies. About twice a year, she goes through a cycle for about 8 to 10 weeks of therapy. As Greta has grown, so has her team. It's quite a list now that I look at it on paper. She sees neurology, seating and orthotic specialists, urology, nutrition, psychology, and a sleep specialist. Part of her treatment includes getting Botox injections that helps with her muscle tone. And she also has a deep brain stimulator, which helps her control her involuntary movements. She relies on customized equipment to keep her safe and comfortable and just to engage in life. One thing we really value at Gillette is that they view her diagnosis as a roadmap or a plan to take care of her, but they never look at it as who she is. They really see Greta. My husband and Leif and I were introduced to Medicaid just a few days after Greta was born. At the time, we carried private insurance like we do now, but Greta's needs would exceed what private insurance would cover. And the social workers at the clinic knew that and got us help right away to get access to Medicaid to use a TEFRA and through TEFRA and use a waiver that would give her access to equipment and services that we can't have access to with just private insurance. I'll speak to some of those examples. Medicaid funds the paraprofessionals that make it possible for Greta to safely be a 9th grader in high school. She absolutely loves school, and she rates it a 10 out of 10 every day that I ask her. It's a really big positive part of her life, and she depends on those paraprofessionals to make that a possibility. Medicaid also funds personal care attendants, which we call PCAs. And these are people that come into our house and help her with her daily living cares. They take her on field trips in the community, and they help me balance being a mom, not just a caretaker. We have an awesome son, and sometimes that balance is a little emotional and a little stressful. So that really relieves that in our family. Medicaid also provides Greta with an AAC device. We call it a talker, and what it is, it's a computer that's activated by her eyes so she can say what she's thinking. I got a little emotional at this part upstairs with the legislators, so I'm doing my best here. But private insurance does not deem communication medically necessary. So without her device, Greta would never be able to say, "I love you," or tell me what she's thinking or feeling. Without that device, Greta simply would not have her voice. Even with private insurance, we have learned that Medicaid is absolutely essential to the life we want for our daughter and the life that she deserves. And that's ultimately why I'm here today. Medicaid, or medical assistance in Minnesota, is not an option for the people you're going to hear from today or for my daughter. It's absolutely essential. And the changes that are coming at both federal and state level are going to affect these lives and these families. Medicaid funding is interconnected, and when cuts are made to one area, it potentially affects all of them. So even though Greta isn't directly impacted by the new Medicaid work requirements, she will most certainly be impacted by any related cuts to the state Medicaid budget. As you can imagine, yesterday's announcement about further cuts to Medicaid has left us with a lot of uncertainty and anxiety about her future. So we're all here to ask policymakers to look truly at how Medicaid will look in the future with the lens of the people and the families that it will affect. We did not plan this life for our daughter. We did not plan to rely on Medicaid. But like all parents, we just love our child and our children. And we depend on systems that allow them to live and learn and participate in community and their lives. And Medicaid is that system for us and many others. Our family counts on it to provide in order to give Greta the opportunities we've dreamed of for her and the fundamental rights that she deserves. Thanks for listening to our story, and that's how Medicaid really impacts our lives.